For this demonstration, I'm using the Caran Museum Aquarelle set of 12 crayons. And I'm scribbling on the palette, the textured side, so I can lift off that pencil later. You can see I'm using 300 GSM cold pressed watercolour paper and a size 2 wash brush. The watercolour pencils dissolve beautifully and they work exactly like watercolours. As you can see, I can lift off, I can move it around while it's wet. Really impressive. When it's dry, I'm using the pencil Neat, a sort of ultramarine tone for the background mountains, adding a little bit of lemon yellow, and then a wet brush, but not too wet, more than damp, and you can see just how intense those colours are. More intense than I was expecting, even though I've used these pencils before, but it does mean I can use a damp brush while it's wet to lift out some highlights and just work with it a little bit more to make it more interesting. And when that's dry, I'm using the mid-green pencil that comes with the set for the foreground, and the darker green, which it's not a very natural green, but it's quite nice when it's mixed with other colours as well. And then again, a fairly wet brush, but not overly wet. I don't want the colour to spread, I want the colour to move, which is slightly different. And then the same with the bush or tree on that left hand side. I'm using the brush in a dotty way and using the paint that's within the bush to create finer branches. I'm then using a Payne's grey direct from the pencil with the brush to do some slightly darker areas. What I find with that, it gives a more intense colour and it just works really well because the painting wasn't totally dry, and if I went straight in with the pencil, it would trap the pencil rather than letting it spread and move. So that's something to be aware of. But that works with every watercolour pencil. And then picking up a brown, burnt umber colour, and doing the same for a little pathway through the foreground. I'm then going back with the darker green to just create some field systems and trees and bushes and lines. I'm not going to wet that though. I'm going to keep that as a pencil. I'm then using the brown pencil Neat over the top of the dried pathway and the green pencil Neat over the top of the grass just to give a bit of extra texture, and I'm not going to wet those. So there's the finished piece. Why not give it a go?